How's it going, everyone? And welcome to the special edition of the Sports Talk podcast with Alec Pecano. Please welcome on my guest for this interview today, Dorian James. How's it
It's
going,
uh,
Dorian?
it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. Going well.
Before we start, why don't you explain to everybody how we know each other?
Yeah, for sure. So I played for the UNF men's basketball team for 6 years, and Alec was one of the team managers, and he helped us out a lot on the court, whether that was skill development, just helping us to rebound and helping us through our practice to make sure our practices run smooth. So I've been knowing Alec for a good amount of years now.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you 6 questions, and you can ask me questions throughout the interview as well.
Gotcha.
If you want to go first, you can, or I can. Up to you.
No, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
Okay. So what made you when you were choosing where you wanted to go to school for academics and basketball, what made you choose UNF?
Yeah, so what made me choose UNF was, my relationship with the coaching staff whenever they were, communicating with me during my high school recruiting process. During they were actually the first Division I school to offer me a scholarship. So that always had something, had like a good impact on me. So, communicating with them, they were the one coaching staff to me that I felt had, a real passion for what they were doing and really invited me in and really wanted me to play for them. So off the from the beginning, I always felt like they had a family type of environment and they really cared about me and thought that I could help the team win.
What was your favorite quote that Coach Driscoll said?
Favorite quote, man, he has a lot of them. Let's see, I'd say probably my favorite quote that I've heard him say is um, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. And I feel like that he really used it in terms of basketball, but I think that that quote can apply to almost any part of your life. If you want to be great, if you want to be if you want to be somebody in whatever field that you're working in or whatever you're doing in your life, if you continue to strive to be better and better until you're the best, there's you really can't fail. You're always getting better and you're gonna end up being the best at what you do.
Okay, so what does life look like after basketball for Dorian?
Life after basketball. So I'm currently finishing up my master's in health administration. I'm graduating this May on May 3rd. So it's an exciting time for me. But, basketball has been a part of my life since, I can remember. And now for me, it ended whenever we lost our last game in the tournament championships. So life after basketball, once I graduate, hopefully I'm able to work in a hospital. That's my goal, is to work in a hospital as a healthcare administrator. And eventually I want to move my way up and become a leader in whichever healthcare organization that I'm working for and, be in a leadership position and be able to make positive change for the community.
Okay, so this next question might be a little tricky. I know
Okay.
y'all took a lot of like road trips during conference play. What was your favorite one? Favorite city to visit in the ASUN?
In the ASUN.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Favorite city to visit in the ASUN. Let's see. Mm, one of my favorites would be going to Kennesaw, and that's only because when we have road games and we win a road game, we call it roadkill, and getting a roadkill means that we get dessert afterwards. So whenever we play at Kennesaw State, If we win, we get to go to Marietta Diner, and they have some of the best cakes, best cheesecakes I've ever had in my life. So that's always something that I look forward to.
Okay. This one, I'm not trying to put any of your former teammates against you, but who was your favorite teammate or favorite non teammate? Could be fan, could be coach.
Favorite teammate and favorite non-teammate. That's hard. That's hard to choose. That's really hard to choose. But because I love all my teammates. We all had a great experience. But let's just put it this way. This past year, playing with Chaz Lanier, he really was an amazing player, and he actually made ASUN history this year, being the first player in ASUN history to shoot 50% from the field, 40% from three, and 90% from the free throw line, while making 100 field goals and 53 pointers. So he truly is an amazing player, and it's really amazing to see like the things that he does on the court, and it always seems like effortless to him. So, you know, me and him had a great year this year, and it was great playing alongside of him. But non non basketball favorite person, I could say there's a few. I'd say there's a few. You know, um, shout out to all the boosters for UNF, of course. They are always, showing support, and I love talking to them and spending time with them. But I'd say Coach Kennon's dad. He used to come to all the games with face paint, and he was like a super fan with like the little wig on his head. That was always really cool to see. Um, Coach Driscoll's son, Paxton, he's always on the right there on the sidelines, front row seats. He's always on the other players, talking to the other players, talking to the refs. So he's a really big fan too. I love seeing him at the games. And then this year we had a fan, a young kid. His name was Hunter, and he used to every single game we'd give him a fist bump right before we walk out to the court, and he'll make signs for us. So he has a couple signs that he made for me, and he is always super supportive and always cheering us on. He used to come down and give me a fist bump whenever I'm getting water. So he really made my last year experience really good. Actually, I have some of the posters right here that he made for me. He made this one for me right here. This one right here for me after I scored 25 points against JU. And then he made this one right here for me for my senior night, which really meant a lot to me because, they knew I was leaving, and he made me this for my senior night. And I'm really, really appreciative of him for making this for me, because I'm gonna keep this right here forever for sure.
And last question, what was your favorite memory?
Favorite memory, man. There's too many to count. I've had an amazing experience at UNF. Only college I played for. Especially now with the transfer portal being kind of crazy with NIL money and all that kind of stuff. I'm very grateful that I was able to stay at UNF for 6 years and really build something there and have really great connections. And you know Jacksonville is almost like a second home to me now. But some of my favorite memories, I'd say, are just times that I got to spend with my teammates. Whether that's in the apartment, just watching basketball, watching random stuff, or on the road at meals, during lunch or during dinner, just the camaraderie of all my teammates together. That's really like something special that I'm always going to remember.
Do you have any question? Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
Yeah. So let me ask you this: from your time at UNF, who do you think is the best player that you've seen play for UNF?
Oh, man, you put me on the spot.
Yeah, that's a tough one, right? It's a tough one.
I'd have
There's
to
been a lot of
obviously you, but if I
okay.
had
I
to pick
appreciate that.
somebody other than you, I'd say maybe Garrett.
Yeah, he was great.
Garrett, Carter,
Hmm.
Wajid,
Right.
Chaz,
Hmm.
um, Jose,
Yep. Jose.
which I'm going to see him tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
I'm going down to Tampa to see them play against VCU.
That's gonna be a great one.
It is, um, and then Noah before he left.
Yeah, he was really good, really talented. Yeah, I mean UNF has had a lot of really talented basketball players to go through there, so it's hard to choose one.
It
Um,
is. Any other questions for me?
yeah, what made you get into the sports podcast and interviewing stuff?
So I originally started the YouTube back in like 2015,
Hmm.
but I at that point I was in like middle school and I really didn't know what I wanted to talk about on YouTube. I did I did videos every couple days, and then I wanted to start doing it more when I started at UNF, but it was kind of hard to do that and balance going to all the athletic events. So stopped it when I started at UNF. Senior year I did one interview my senior year with a couple of the soccer players, women's soccer. And
Hmm.
then right after I moved home from Jacksonville, I started it up again last February. And I just decided that since I know a lot about sports, that I wanted to start the YouTube channel again and give out my how I feel about sports and try to give out as much knowledge as I could in terms of sports.
Right.
And this is the third interview I've done. I did one with two of the former women's soccer players, but that wasn't like this. And then I did one with one of my really good friends that I grew up with in Ohio that played football at Notre Dame. And then obviously I'm trying to get more people, but it's hard because I reach out to people and they either don't respond back at all or they look at the message and they don't reply.
Hmm.
And then I was supposed to, when I lived up there, I was supposed to interview Coach Driscoll, but schedules got kind of mixed up. And
Right.
obviously, y'all are getting ready for not the season, but y'all are getting ready for like training camp
Yeah.
and didn't want that to interfere with him having to worry about being interviewed. So,
Yeah. Coach Driscoll's
but
a
he is. Any other questions?
I think that's it, man. I think it's really great that you're doing, this sports coverage, especially with, for example, like smaller schools like UNF, getting the coverage out there and letting people know how people really experience their college athletics. I think it's really great.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Any more
Well,
questions for me?
um, are you still in Jacksonville right now?
Right now, no, I'm back home. Back home right now. Since I don't have any in-person classes, so I was able to come back home and spend time with my family.
Isn't your brother going to college soon?
He's in college right now. He's actually a freshman playing for the University of Georgia. So they're playing in the NIT and they play tomorrow. So for anybody who's watching, tune into that. Georgia versus Wake Forest. Look out for number 13, Dylan James. That's my little bro right there.
I think that's about it for the interview. Thanks for being a guest on the show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Try to send this out to some of the other guys to see if they would be interested.
Yeah, definitely. I got you,
Thanks, Dorian.
sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. That does not wrap up the video. We have an NIT preview to go over. And then it'll be the end of the video. So tomorrow night, if you didn't hear, I will be going to the South Florida VCU men's basketball NIT second round game. And here's a recap of their first round game. So South Florida's first round game of the NIT, they beat Central Florida 85-77. Big win, but I think they got a lot of contributions from a lot of different players. Sultan Miguel has stepped up this year for South Florida, and he could have chose to leave and go somewhere else, but he stayed at South Florida, and he's been balling. And in VCU's first round NIT game, they beat Villanova 70-61. And now here are some stats you need to look out, some players to watch for South Florida VCU NIT round 2 tomorrow. The points leader for VCU is Max Shulga, 14.5. He averages 14.5 points per game. Their leading rebounder is Torbu Lowell, 6.1 rebounds per game. And the leading assist getter for VCU is Sean Bairstow, 3.5 assists per game. And the three keys to victory for VCU if they want to beat South Florida tomorrow: force turnovers, get USF in foul trouble, and you're going to hear this one for South Florida as well. 2 and 3, you're going to hear for South Florida as well. Offensive rebound is their third key to victory. For South Florida, their leaders are point leader is Sultan Miguel, averages 15 points per game. Rebounds per game, Kason Pryor, 7.5 rebounds per game, 7.8. Assist per game, freshman Jane Reed leads the team in that, 3.1 assists per game. And the three keys to victory for South Florida: number one, offensive rebound. If they can offensive rebound and control the glass, I think they have a really good shot at winning tomorrow night. 2, and this, I looked at how many turnovers they had against UCF. Don't turn the ball over more than 16 times. And let's keep it at a round number. Keep it below 12 turnovers. I think if you keep it below 12 turnovers, that you can win this game very, very easily. And number 3, get VCU in foul trouble. I said the same thing about VCU, about getting South Florida in foul trouble. Same thing with South Florida. Get VCU in foul trouble. And here's my final score prediction for tomorrow night's game: South Florida 84, VCU 73. And ladies and gentlemen, that does it for tonight's show. Thank you for tuning in. Please leave your comment down below who you think is going to win the VCU South Florida game. And also tell me if you enjoyed my interview with Dorian James and who you think I should try to interview next. But that wraps up today's show. If you enjoyed the interview with Dorian James and my NIT preview of the South Florida VCU game, please remember to leave a thumbs up on the video and turn on notifications and subscribe to this channel for more content on sports, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, hockey, WWE. I might be doing a WrestleMania night 2 stream. And just a heads up, opening day baseball on Thursday, Rays and Blue Jays. It'll be a watch party, which means I will have the game on in the background. But it'll also be where you guys can ask me questions. So have your questions ready. It'll also be a during the game. But till that video, and I also have a community poll up asking whether I should do short videos during the USF VCU men's basketball NIT game tomorrow night. Please leave your thoughts on that down below and vote on the community poll as well. Thank you. That does it. Have a great. Wait, one more thing. We offer memberships. They start at 99 cents a month. If you're interested in a membership, it is very easy. You just tap the join button next to subscribe. I would surely hope by now you're already subscribed. If you're not, please subscribe. And I appreciate all my subscribers that are currently subscribed to this channel. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Let's try to hit 3,000 subscribers by July. But that doesn't, the merch store is not updated yet. It will be soon enough. Hang around for updates on that. But till the next video, this is the Sports Talk Podcast signing off. Have a great rest of your Saturday night.